How ya darn? How ya darn?
Top of the morning.
What's Gucci, people? How are you guys doing on this fine? What is this? What day is it? Tuesday for
Wednesday.
America?
Wednesday for us.
Okay. Yeah.
Tuesday for America.
We just had a great stream over there on the Redraft channel. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Freak Stomper, I see your comment. Can't highlight it, unfortunately, for some reasons at the very top. What's up, Jeremy? Let us know who's here, who's hanging out with us, who's mocking today. Lots of news. Let's see if anything changes with these mock drafts. Probably not. I mean, with Dynasty, I doubt any of the news today would change anything. But always good to get a Dynasty mock draft in. Let me ask you guys who are watching. Has everyone done their startup draft? Because I feel like there's a lot of leagues out there still who are going to do startup drafts around where redraft mocks or redraft drafts are happening as well this year. So let me know. Let me know. Dax says it's National Julio Day, even for Dynasty, especially for Dax team. I love it. What's up, Dom? What's up, Adam? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out. You guys know what we're about to do today. Dynasty mock draft. As always, let me make us a little bit bigger here.
Yeah. If you guys want to be a part of our mock drafts, just join the Discord below. Excuse me. Join the link to our Discord is in the description below.
And I paste it in the chat too.
Zach will paste it in the chat. All you have to do is join our Discord. Go to Dynasty mock draft tab. That's where we'll be posting the link. And as always, we have to say not everyone can join.
Yeah.
Because it is first come, first serve. So
yeah.
Please be aware that we do pretty much a mock draft pretty much every single day, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, depending on which channel we are on, whether we're doing redraft first or Dynasty first or vice versa. So if you want, put on notifications.
Yeah.
Make sure you have that, YouTube notification bell on, and then when we're going live. That means you can get ready to join one of our mock drafts, whether it's Dynasty or redraft. Once again, join the Dynasty mock draft tab or go to Dynasty mock draft tab, and I'll be posting the link there.
Yeah. And also, huge love to everyone who's watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. I don't know what just happened to Badaki's video. We'll figure that in a second. But if you could do us a huge favor and drop a like.
You like that?
It says joined. So that means somebody else joined.
That's impossible. How is that happening?
No idea. We'll let you figure that out. I think that's on your
I bet
side.
you Karina has I bet you my wife has my computer. Give me 1 second. Okay. You talk to the chat while I'm...
you can't see me, but I'm still here. I think we said, what's up, Dom? What's up, Adam? Ian says, I am ready, Adam. I'm in your Charlie League, Spartan Kick. I have another startup that refuses to draft prior to August. Sheesh. That's tough. I mean, what can you do? But it's all right. It's not terrible, but I guess, you just want to make trades throughout the season or throughout the fantasy season or off season, excuse me, et cetera, et cetera. Sean says, happy Wednesday, Tuesday, fam. What's happening, Joseph? Becky Villa has like the 7th inning stretch. Yeah, I think she must have opened his computer that was still logged into our Discord and automatically joined. I'm in the first round of a 16-team SuperFlex, so IDP slow draft. Got the 110. Not sure, probably best wide receiver available. Yeah, I think that's okay. 110, maybe Kyle Pitts, Trey Lance, 16 man league, so it's definitely interesting. I'm back though. I'm assuming Karina had your computer opened up, and then I was there.
So I used to have my MacBook and I used to edit all of our videos on it. Man, that was a nightmare. I would export things. It would take like 3 hours for one video. Then when I bought my PC, it was like 5 minutes. But I still use my Mac for like, random things. But hers unfortunately got water damaged, and she's a songwriter, so we're just sharing right now, but I left Discord open. Anyway, it is what it is. Not a big deal. Adam says, I'm in your Charlie League. I don't know if you talked about this. You might have.
Yeah.
But I find that interesting because I talked to you about this earlier today, but I feel like a lot of leagues, like a lot of people are, that's going to happen to a lot of people. A lot of people haven't drafted yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of
normal.
I'm assuming, Adam, did you transition to a dynasty or start a dynasty league because people are probably having the same thought process as a redraft league? They was like, oh, I don't want to draft these people and they get injured, and maybe they'll avoid them in the Dynasty perspective, but maybe that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't
Right.
matter because it's Dynasty.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's the case with you guys, and that's why they want to draft as close as possible because they're probably still in that redraft mindset. So,
All right.
yeah.
Can you send the link out for us?
Yeah, I'll send the link. Once again, join our Discord. Link is in the description below. Go to the Dynasty Damn It mock draft tab, and that's where I'll be posting a link here every single time.
Badaki's video's having a 7th inning stretch. Badaki, you're hilarious. Adam,
3,
yeah.
2, 1.
Badaki sent the link. Adam, that makes sense for sure. All the information available.
Yeah.
I don't know if you answered Chris's question. I'm sure you probably did while I was away. What's up, Joseph? What's up, Sean? Did you answer Chris's question while I was away?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Always love to have you here on a stream. Good vibes and mock drafting. Bang from downtown. Love to see Dom here. I love drafting with Dom.
Catalina wine mixer.
Pow! It's a Catalina wine mixer. Oh my gosh. Roundhouse your ass. Okay. Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock, guys. 30 seconds on the clock. Dynasty SuperFlex startup mock draft. Not tight end premium. We'll turn the sounds off for a little bit.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we said we're doing a 3rd round reversal.
Yes, this is a 3rd round reversal.
This is a 3rd round reversal.
So
keep
just
in
a little
mind.
switch up. Something else to try. As we see Josh Allen and Justin Herbert off the board. And Spartan Cake's about to make a terrible pick here. He's about to draft Patrick Mahomes. Awful idea. Yeah, I am today. I'll take Joe Burrow.
Yeah, take Joe.
Honestly, don't draft Joe Burrow. His appendix. No, I'm kidding. That is unfortunate, though, that I'm 4 and not in that top 3. What can you do?
You never know. Maybe Patrick Mahomes falls to you, and then you're buzzing.
I don't think it will happen. Kyler goes off the board. Then Lamar Jackson. Why don't you guys comment in the chat? Who are you taking in Dynasty, Kyler or Lamar? Because this has been this is probably one of the most.
That's something that we need.
It's the conversation people get so caught up on.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys know, Kyler Murray got his contract extension. I don't know if you saw probably a little bit after that. Let me just make my pick here.
Just while you are. Joseph, we don't always mock from the same spot. The reason we've just been doing this is because we have a real draft coming up with our Lima League, which is a Dynasty League that we host. We have the NATO alphabet for our follower leagues. But we have a Dynasty draft coming up, and it's a 3rd round reversal. So, Dak, the way the 3rd round reversal works is typically in a regular draft, you see here around the 2-12. Typically, that becomes a 3-1. But the idea of the 3rd round reversal is to make the back end of the draft not so hard for people to draft from. So when it gets to the 2-12, the board switches and it goes from the 3-1, and then from there on it just continually snakes. So that is the difference. But that's essentially what it is.
That's essentially the difference. It goes to Sean Watson going not a lot earlier, not the 2-4.
Yeah, people keep having more confidence in him. Makes sense.
So Kyler Murray, I know we haven't spoken about this, but I'm pretty sure. Let me just turn off this wild stuff. If you heard, he signed his contract, $250,000 essentially, 4-year contract extension. In his contract, there's a clause saying that he needs to study 4 hours a week,
which is so funny.
It is funny, but it's also, once again, I'm listening to all these people and what they're bringing up. Like I'm watching ESPN, and I don't want to go into too much of that and saying that they're right, but I am somewhat agreeing with them. Like, why do you have to put a clause for someone that should, in their own contract, that they need to still be doing their job? Like,
come on.
It's true, though.
Why is this news?
It's not. Why is this news? It's just. It's true. So you're saying that. That's like.
Why is this like?
That's like telling me, saying, you know what? By the way, you're doing fantasy content, but make sure you're watching football at least 4 hours a week. What? I'm doing that already because I'm creating content.
But yeah.
I'm creating content. That's what I have to do. I'm not saying he has to study, and maybe they don't like that he's not studying enough. He probably is studying, not enough. But
I think it's an interesting conversation. But I think this is classic, not a lot to talk about. Friendly reminder, when Madden ratings came out, what was on every single media platform? Madden ratings, because people don't know what to talk about. So of course this is an overblown story at this point. Now you can see it at the 2-12 again. So the 3-1, now we see DeAndre Swift. That's how I'm viewing it personally. You know, I understand some people might view it differently, but to me, it's like we need something to talk about. Oh, here's this clause in Kyler's contract. You know, obviously, it's. I don't think it should be concerning where you don't draft him in Dynasty. That's all I'll say.
Agreed. I agree with that. But I think it is. Let me just make my pick here. You know what?
As he makes his pick, what's up, Shoes? ATJ's trolling. Yoki says Lamar. Lamar, at least he watches film, stays off video game. Dak says booze, so I screwed myself by picking the one spot, probably. Joseph says Kyler by a little. JGM, kind of what I'm saying. People are reaching for a Kyler story. Samuel says, would you trade Hurts, Saquon, Godwin for Lamar, AK, and JK? So would you trade Hurts, Saquon, Godwin for Lamar, AK, JK? Man, that's tough. I don't really like betting on Jalen Hurts long term.
Hurts, Saquon.
But I don't really like Alvin Kamara either.
No. Gosh.
That's pretty even for me.
Say that again.
That's pretty even for me.
That's pretty even for you, right? I don't know if it's just me, but you're breaking up for me. I don't know if that's the same for everyone else.
I don't know. Am I breaking up for you guys? Let me know. I feel like I've not had any interruptions on my end, but I'm not sure.
Unless you were just like you were talking and then I was talking. You're like, I don't know. Anyways.
Oh, is that happening for any of you guys? Let me know. Is my audio off or anything? But if you guys could do us a huge favor, 40 people watching, we're going to keep looking at your comments, keep mock drafting and talking about the updated news. The easiest way for you to help us out here is to drop a like. You like that? So, if you can do so, help support the stream. 41 people watching. Let's get to 30 likes here. With your help, I think we can do it.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. There, Samuel, Hurts, Saquon, Godwin, Lamar. I guess maybe I'm gonna go Lamar, Kamara, JK, just so you can at least sell Lamar. I don't know. That's tough. It is. I guess it might be even. It's really tough. That's a tough one. Sean traded Damian Harris away to get Watson in a 12-team Superflex Dynasty. How did I do? I mean, that's fantastic.
You did great.
That's fantastic. What's happening, Reb? Matt, that's completely different for sure. I'm assuming you're talking about the Kyler Murray. JDM, how can he play at the level that he's playing in college? Play at the level he in college and pros and not watch film?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's get to football.
Yeah. Come on. Exactly.
Yeah.
Brees Hall just went ahead of Najee. I saw that.
Yeah,
interesting.
I did that as
interesting. Well. You know, I think based off of ADP, we're not seeing that happen all that much, but I don't think it's that crazy based off age, but obviously I think Najee's the much more sure bet. I think you would definitely say Najee as well, Badaki.
Yeah, 100%. Much more sure bet.
What's up, Matt? Nervous about the looming suspension for AK? I just want an answer, to be honest, Sam. I just want to know what is happening so we can adjust accordingly.
Exactly.
Okay, so I keep falling into situations in mock drafts and real drafts where DK Metcalf is available to me in the 4th round. I feel like I can't say no to that. So welcome to the squad, DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Not bad. I don't mind it.
Yes, he has openly admitted that he doesn't watch film. I understand that. Yep. Tarbosh says Kyler just needs to remind the media of the clause in the contract that says he's going to make $250 million.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying Kyler is not going to be better this year or is going to be worse this year. I'm just saying it is disappointing because I think that's what a lot of people are saying, and I agree with them. People are saying it is disappointing that a guy as talented as you are not putting the time and work and effort and is getting in the playoffs, saying like he was so upset. Maybe you're upset because maybe you didn't study that extra 4 hours. Maybe you didn't do this.
Is it fair to say though?
And I'm not saying it's just him. I'm not saying it's just him. Anyways, yes, you can answer the question. I just wanted to clarify that.
No, you're good. Is it fair to say that he is a young man who is maturing and a lot of things that happened this offseason? Let's be honest. No report that came out this offseason was pro Kyler. Probably a lot of growth happened this offseason with Kyler. So I think there's a chance that he can mature, that he can grow. And he's still a young quarterback. I think he can still get better. Let's see how he reacts from it. But if he was able to do what he was able to do, and he hasn't watched film yet, what could he be? So let's see.
Exactly, and I think that's the thing. You didn't what you were doing.
Yeah.
Imagine if you put the 4 hours in, like you could have been won a Super Bowl if that's really the case, or you could have been making the playoffs or getting further and further in the playoffs every single year.
Yeah.
And I think that is the problem. That is the concern. Not the
You're on
problem.
the clock, by the way.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
Okay, no breakup. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting us know. Only 3 likes. Oh, for me, it shows 25. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for liking the stream. Tarbosh says, to be honest, with the inflation of the cap, I gotta wonder if we get to the point where stud rookies work on getting that second contract, then just luck retire after a year of getting that paycheck. If they don't love football, that I can see where you're coming from. Yeah. Chris says non-fantasy football, Arizona and LAC need new coaches. Like as in, you're talking about the Clippers? LAC, is that the Clippers? I'm trying to think of who LAC, Chargers maybe? For Los Angeles Chargers, I don't know why I saw Clippers. For being too analytic, and Cliff for not having players prepared. Sure. I get that. What's up, Albert? Matt says, why hasn't Watson situation been answered by now? I mean, come on, for real, man. I definitely agree. But Aki, I'm super surprised you went Dobbins there. Was that a panic? Because normally that's Judy's smash for you.
I wanted to solidify my running back. I didn't think he would take Judy personally, but yes, I would always take Judy. That was the thought process there. Now I'm panicking on my wide receiver because I was comfortable saying, you know, Judy, my wide receiver 1. According to my rankings, I should be taking this guy.
What? Has your rankings changed?
No, my rankings always been the same. He's my wide receiver 17. That's just that's what's there. Outside of
Tell me how in every mock, in every draft, I'm getting Burks in round 6, but now he's going at the 5-3.
I'm technically supposed to take Chris Godwin. Technically, I didn't realize, but
okay.
I don't understand.
All of a sudden, no one's worried.
I'm telling you, I've never. Did I say I was worried about him? I said
yes, bro.
I said I was.
We've made videos where you've talked about his asthma.
You're kidding.
No, seriously.
I didn't make a video saying he has asthma. Don't get him. That was
no, but it is something that you have talked about before, as in like something we should be worried about.
I don't think.
No, you haven't. You've never talked about that. Okay.
Please show me the video. I'll put my hands up and say I'm wrong, but I don't think I've. I don't think
it's okay. It's all good. I just think now all of a sudden we're all fine to take him where I've been taking him.
I always took Jerry there because Jerry was always available. Treylon Burks either goes earlier or I like people over Treylon.
That's fair.
But I mean, yeah, I would love to see the video. I mean, if I did, I was probably joking in the matter, but maybe I would like to see.
I remember getting like annoyed because we were talking about it, but I'll find it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. I just think again, like, I'm gonna get auto pick because we were talking about this. I forgot. Wow, someone I would literally never pick. Welcome to the squad, Derrick Henry. Anyway, it is what it is. Not a big deal. Albert says someone just dropped Baker in one of my dynasty leagues. What percentage of fab would you need to spend on him? I mean, fab is if your benches are anywhere from like 10 to 12 spots, fab is not going to be all that valuable. So, I mean, I would for a starting quarterback. You don't really know what you're going to get, but I would easily spend like 60 to 70% of my fab, just because in a SuperFlex league, starting quarterbacks are going to be pretty valuable. So,
yeah. Watch 4 hours of film. Oh, hey, TJ, that's funny. NFL holding. Tarbosh says NFL holding off until a decision on Watson. You don't really care about people thinking about their suspension decisions, but it'll be hard to justify suspending Kamara for even 25% of Watson. Yeah, I mean, once again, I think it's crazy that with all these allegations, all this stuff happening, that could get 8-game suspension. I thought it was at least going to be minimum a year. Now it's saying, well, he's only going to get 4 to 8. GG's.
Yeah, I really liked my start until I drafted Derrick Henry. So this is unfortunate here.
Tarbosh says, I'll spend it all unless it's an 8-man league. Jeez. Matt said it was a good start for you, and then that happened. How much would you pay in draft capital for Watson? I would definitely give it 23 first or 24 first if I was trying.
Easily. I think you probably need to give more, to be honest.
Yeah. Um. So Chargers, Jerry Judy over DJ Moore. What's going on here? We are not.
Must be new to the channel, my guy.
Yeah, if you're new to the channel, we are not DJ Moore believers here. We've had multiple videos about DJ Moore saying why we are off him, etc., etc.
Just like other players more.
can just
like
go-
their upside, their unknowns more.
We can say the whole thing about why we don't like. Spend this whole stream why we don't like DJ Moore.
Well, just indifferent, really.
Right.
Reb says great quarterbacks shouldn't have to be mandated to watch film. League caught up with him last year. Sure, let's hope that it's kind of like the wake up call he needs. What's up, John? Do you guys have specific strategy drafting from different spots? Yeah, for sure. Because it depends on what moves you make pre-draft. It depends on how your league drafts. In our community, quarterbacks are valued pretty highly. So I know that in my leagues, if I'm at the 1-8 to the 112, I'm not getting one of those top 6 certified elite quarterbacks in Dynasty. But it depends on how your league views Dynasty and how they draft. But definitely different spots are going to bring different strategies as well with the moves you make pre-draft, because typically we do make a lot of moves pre-draft based off of a strategy we're pursuing, whether it's futuristic, win now, hybrid win now, productive struggle, whatever the case may be. So Dak says third round swap is painful. Matt says Badaki's on tilt. Tyler says, how are you taking Wilson and Devontae Smith over the top running backs? Yeah, we don't build around running backs on this channel either, guys. Definitely not old veteran running backs. Yeah. But Ross says good for 12th pick. Yeah, it is good, the third round reversal. JW says third round reversal has proven to be much fairer. Dom says, I'm wondering if he's always had asthma. Yes, he has.
I literally said that earlier today too.
ATJ says, where was this third round reversal when I was drafting? We started giving the leagues an option to vote on it before we did draft order reveals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason said traded Tim Patrick, Van Jefferson for Claypool. He wouldn't start for me, but figured there's good upside there. I'm okay with that personally. I would rather have Chase Claypool over Tim Patrick and Van Jefferson. I don't know about Zach.
Yeah, I agree. Of course.
Yeah. Tyler said Deontay, bro. Not sure.
I think he's saying like Deontay went after. Maybe he's saying Deontay and DJ Moore are going too late. I mean, there's a lot of Deontay truthers out there, so like I can understand where you're coming from. I think Badaki is higher on. I don't want to speak for you, but I think you're higher on Deontay than I am.
Yeah, I
have my my hesitations personally.
I should have taken Deontay because he was available too. Wow. Jerry Judy has a much better quarterback for sure. I got Stafford, Hurts, Tua, and Golf in my SuperFlex Dynasty League. Would you guys trade Hurts for 23 first rounders? I would prefer trading Tua, but obviously not the same amount of value. I would definitely trade Hurts for 23 first. I would trade Hurts or Tua.
You would?
23 first, yeah.
Okay.
Like if I'm receiving the 223 firsts,
right?
Yeah, I'm happy to trade Tua or Hurts for either of those.
I think I would say that's pretty close. Yeah, I would say that's like kind of like right on the edge. So it seems pretty like a wash to me.
Yeah. Heard something the other day. Steven said the other day, basically saying, to have like 3 broad approaches through the first 3 rounds. The first 3 rounds. Yeah.
See how the board falls, because you really can't, like, strategy doesn't matter if you can't achieve it when the board falls differently. Jeremy says, this is Dynasty. Of course, you're going to pass on old running backs. Matt says, no way. You build Dynasty on wide receivers, not running backs. We tend to agree here. Tyler says, yeah, Deontay should be higher than wide receiver 25. Yeah, I can definitely respect. I mean, I don't even like Deontay, and I think I have him wide receiver 22, so I don't disagree with you either. David Montgomery feels like pretty good value at the 8.4. No,
Look it up, man. Give it a Monty.
I'm not even a Monty guy, but
I'm a
that's
Monty
not
believer.
that's pretty good value, don't you think?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. This is super. Usually goes. He usually goes before Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker, Antonio Gibson. He usually goes before them. I wonder maybe why he fell, but anyways.
It works for me.
Raw
says, yeah, go ahead.
There's more value in Aaron Jones now that Devontae Adams is gone. Absolutely. We made a video on that as well.
Sure, yeah.
About Aaron Jones and how he could be seeing more passing opportunity coming his
The
way.
offense will run through the running backs, so both of those guys are going to be pretty valuable to own this year. ATJ said you kind of made their point. Why draft for 4 years when you can draft for 8 years? Yeah, I think 8 years is a long way away, but I agree. In the running back turnover is quite high. Steven says I think he doesn't usually fall nearly that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was like a little bit shocked that he was still there.
Closer to Jerry. Yeah, I mean, he goes, 5th round, like I said, 5th, 6th round, above all Jacobs, Gibson, Walker. Usually going way above those guys. Just make sure that I can take this guy. Here we go.
Thank you to everyone who is watching, who's hanging out. If you could do us a huge favor by dropping a like.
You like that? You like that?
Really does help the channel. That's why we ask you guys to do so. Every like does help. With 40 people, I mean, we can get to 35. If everyone drops a like now and helps us out, that would mean a ton. Why not? Why not us? Why not us? Look at us.
Look at us.
So you went Mitchell there.
Yeah, love Mitchell. I mean, he's falling even later now too. He usually goes in. Well, it's a little bit around and a half ish. He's falling at the moment.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just his drafts. But I wasn't expecting. I'm assuming this is how the board is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it's going to go in our league because everyone is freaking training everywhere. I'll tell you that much.
I have no idea how that league is going to pay out.
That
Let
looks
me see if I can look at the draft board.
That just looks like
I've come to the point, honestly, in the Lima League where I don't think anyone has the assets to really make deals because the offers I'm getting, it just doesn't really make sense for me to make the moves anymore.
Yeah.
But look at this draft board. I mean, outside of Badaki and I.
I think people are also just trading to trade now. Like, they're just going next level. But yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah. Which is obviously this is
so
gonna be
Redmond
fun.
Bulldog don't have top. Okay.
Obviously, that's going to be a fun one to watch here next week. I think it's a week from right now, actually.
Yeah,
I think in a week from right now, we will be drafting.
Oh, boy.
HJ says, who is currently your guys' top non-quarterback prospect? I would say pretty easy to say Bijan. But outside of Bijan, I know that we both really like Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Transferred to Alabama.
I didn't know that, by the way. I looked that up the other day. I think it was in the what you called it, the supporters live stream, and I was looking at all those Gibbs, and I saw he got transferred to Alabama. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
I was so surprised on that. I was like, wow.
It's going to be a good year for him for sure.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely going to it's going to help his stock for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I
would say outside of that, Keyshawn Butte, as I am going to accidentally take Dalton Schultz here, but that works for me.
Right.
Keyshawn Butte, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jordan Addison. Butte, I'm really, really excited about. I think a lot of people have Jackson Smith ahead of Butte, but I wouldn't be surprised if Butte solidifies himself as the one in 2023. But I mean, we're so far away. I mean, any of these guys could get injured or disappoint us, or other players could really pop out of nowhere. Jordan Addison being at USC, I mean, his stock could skyrocket.
Yeah, he was with Kenny Pickett this past year.
USC pretty much treated the transfer portal like free agency in the NFL.
Yeah, right.
Like, I want that player. I want that player, and not even like normal free agency, but almost like if you were to control a Madden team in free agency and you just sign whoever you want. That's what USC has done this offseason.
Yeah, there's definitely some good. I'm just looking at PFF's Instagram here, looking at the wide receiver list. See if I can find it. The running
Yeah.
back list.
And just
Yeah.
while you're doing that, a player that I'm curious why today specifically he is falling so much further than he's ever fallen, and that's Clyde.
Wow.
I've been in both drafts today and loved his ADP.
Really, I feel like he usually goes in the 9-10. He doesn't go earlier or later.
I feel like
than
Clyde is typically going around the Sanders, the Zekes, the Pollards.
Yeah. So I guess he kind of fell a little bit. Yeah, for sure. The guy that I was
Tell
thinking
me
about,
in what format we've seen someone take Edmonds and Stevenson over Clyde. I don't think I've seen that this offseason. I could be wrong.
Probably not. Yeah. So Stevenson's and Edmonds is definitely not on track there, but Clyde for sure. I hear what you're saying. Another guy for the wide receiver room, just really quick. For the 23 class.
Yeah.
Two guys I've constantly been hearing, is Mario Williams and Xavier Worthy.
Sure. Yeah.
Those are the only other two. Other than that, I haven't really heard much of anyone else.
Is Mario in this class? Is he definitely in this class?
I'm not sure, but that's
I think he might be in 24, but I could be wrong.
That's a name I've been hearing often.
Yeah. Because I think Mario also transferred to USC.
Yes.
I think he's 24. I don't know though. I don't know. You could be right. Butte over in Jigba. It's really close. I think maybe, in my opinion, it's not that big of a gap between them compared to some other people. Today, Junior.
I don't know what to do.
Reb says, great to know I have 4 23 first-round picks in Lima. I love it. Tyler, what's your guys' thoughts on Gabe Davis? I think he has the highest possible reward for his ADP. You, man, we've had so many disagreements about Gabe Davis on this stream. So you've come to a place where there's been a lot of conversations surrounding him.
There's a I think we're pretty split. I know Zach is. Look, I always said I don't love his ADP and how high he's going, especially in best ball, in best ball formats. I think the value is there if the ADP is right. I think if he's going, let me just make a pick here.
I typically feel like he's going too high. I'll just say that, but I understand what could.
Here now.
I understand what could happen with him, but I personally feel like he is typically going a little bit too high for my liking.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think he is going typically too high for my liking as well. Is he still going to produce the way I imagine him to do? Or him to be? Absolutely. But do I like how high he's going? He's going really high sometimes, higher than over some people that are baffling. Like, I don't think he should be going as high as what he should be, especially in best ball formats. Where he went here at the 7-10, I'm happy to take a chance there. I don't think that is an unreasonable ADP in this format.
Yeah.
In best ball, I see him going in the 4th, 5th. I think that's way too high.
Agreed. Best ball is kind of ridiculous.
I really love what he could potentially be this year. But maybe that's also hard because it's hard for me, because if I'm believing what he can do, then I should be saying it's okay to get him as high. On him.
That's the hard thing, because his ADP.
But the ADP is just too much.
Is pretty up there. It's a bit difficult to justify at points. I'm about to make a pick here.
Yeah, go for it. I'll read this question.
It's gonna be Carson Wentz. I don't know if Pookie hears this. Okay, don't snipe me. Welcome to the squad, Carson.
It says a lot when Wilson and Olave are saying that Njigba is much better than them.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Njigba is super talented. I haven't really watched Butte's film, so I can't really compare the two.
I agree, but we've always said that the 23 class is a better class anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen Butte's film, so I can't really comment on him. Sleepers who got highlighted on PFF recently, A.T. Terry. Yeah, very interesting.
A.T. Perry, yeah. I don't know much about him, but I know that they have Raheem Jarrett on there, and I'm a big fan of Raheem Jarrett. So they have some players I like over there. Who's your favorite prospect for 2023 at quarterback? I think Badaki and I both would say C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
And I think for us, he's actually in, as of right now, so much can change, but I would say as of right now, he kind of is in an entire tier of his own for us.
Yeah, I think right at the moment, if NFL draft started today, CJ no doubt is the 101.
That's how I feel as well.
Yeah,
We don't
but
know if that's gonna
we don't know if that's
happen
gonna
this
continue
time next
exactly.
year, but
Yeah, but
that's how we feel. Yeah.
we really love CJ. We definitely have videos on CJ's. I think we have a video on CJ, Bryce, Tanner McGee, Tyler Van Dyke. We just did Anthony Richardson. We're gonna do Will Levis this week.
Yep.
That should be coming out sometime by the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So we're definitely doing the series. We're gonna start doing, I think, wide receivers or running backs next. So check out those videos. I mean, we're creating those. We're creating the 23 class content. It's not getting much love, but it's definitely, hopefully, something you guys can appreciate.
We love making it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Jason says people are freaking out since we went on PUP today for undisclosed injury. Chris says same thing. But he wouldn't fade him basically. Joseph says $1 on Edmonds finishing higher than Clyde. I don't think that's crazy to say this year, but Edmonds isn't someone I'm betting on in Dynasty
really
over
high?
Clyde.
I don't know if you've.
Sure.
I just saw the short is Jason from Fantasy Footballers.
He's high on Edmonds.
He's really high on Clyde. I don't
on Clyde.
Sorry,
he was also high on him last year.
Sorry, he was really high on Chase Edmonds. Excuse me. He's really high on
okay.
Chase Edmonds and saying like he really likes him.
Right. That's
yeah,
good.
Just a thought process. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think analysts, if they're honest, we all hit and miss
all the time.
In years. So, but it's good. It's good to have those foundational beliefs about players. How do you feel about doing auction drafts? We don't really do auction drafts, but it's similar. It's just a different format.
Yeah.
ATJ says apparently Butte is a track guy. I think he ran a 22nd 200 meter or something like that. He's pretty quick. Matt says top 3 quarterback prospects for me.
I think we actually have
CJ, Bryce, Tyler Van Dyke.
Tyler Van Dyke, exactly. Those are the top 3 in that order. We actually see really similar in the top 3 quarterbacks in the 23 class. I think it's
Go ahead.
I think it definitely changes in the second half, like the middle.
It does.
The middle tier for us.
Like the quarterbacks 4 to 8 are very different for us.
Yeah.
I'm much higher on Anthony Richardson. We both really love Tanner McGee. I don't understand the Will Levis hype, personally. I really didn't like watching Will Levis, but a lot of people really like Will Levis. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy watching his film.
Oh, gosh.
I think he's further off than people want to admit, but I could be wrong. Quarterbacks, I think, of any position are probably the hardest to actually scout, if we're honest. Tarbosh says, I love the 2023 draft vids and player tape reviews. Would like to see more. It's good to hear.
That's awesome.
It's going to keep coming.
Yeah, I'm a believer in Will. I like what he can do. I like what obviously he needs to take a big step in the passing game because he was more of a rushing quarterback, but I think he does have the arm talent. I think he does have the ability to be a good quarterback. He just needs to develop his passing game. He needs to develop in his accuracy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, just like everyone else does. But I think he does have the biggest step to take. But I am really high on him because of the athletic quarterback that he is. Like not comparing him to these people.
I don't think he has the intangibles to be a successful NFL quarterback.
Oh, I definitely do.
Mechie, I'll take Mechie here at the 13-9. I don't even think that's really falling all that far, but he's one of those people. I think I'm really happy to pop him on my taxi.
For sure.
But
Albert, are you okay?
Yeah, maybe intangibles is the wrong word. I'm trying to go back to my notes on Will Levis.
Yeah, I think the things that I've said is like I definitely agree. Like
this is what I wrote down. I can see the potential for Levis. However, I do believe he's going to need to take a huge leap this year to be considered a round 1 quarterback. At this moment, he is not a round 1 quarterback. I would actually prefer Kenny Pickett over Will Levis at this point. You can see the body, arm strength, leadership, mobility. this is what the NFL GMs will froth over, but he needs to improve in accuracy, playing in an NFL-type offense, pocket poise, throwing at high volumes, and leading teams to wins. And that was something, now that I revisit my notes, that I noticed a lot of players did things for him this year. Specifically Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson attributed to so many Will Levis highlights and stats. It's almost like how Jimmy G was successful this year. And not saying that Will Levis is Jimmy G, but like there was a lot of talent around him that I believe carried him to relevancy. So let's see.
I think it's the only, at least
see what he can do.
It's definitely interesting. I think the only talent that was there was Wan'Dale. I don't think there was anyone extreme.
The offense was not built like a pro offense. I mean, a lot of players did the dirty work for him with his stats, with his completions. Like a lot of screens. Like I said, it's very much like a 49ers offense last year. Quarterback didn't have to do all that much. ATJ, do you think Atlanta's going to be content with Ritter? I think Badaki and I might see this differently. I don't want to speak for you again, but I don't think I don't think he's the guy. But
I think if Atlanta is in a position to take a top quarterback next year, which I do believe, then he could, he won't be in contention. Like he won't have the opportunity to play. If they fall out of an opportunity to get a quarterback, I think they'll give Chance all the opportunity, because at the end of the day, he was a 3rd-round pick. So it's not like they spent a 1st-round draft capital on him. But if they can get someone like a Tyler Van Dyke at the 10 in the draft, if he does fall that far, or however the board is going to look like, I think the Atlanta Falcons will always go over, or will always take the new quarterback coming in over Desmond Ritter.
Sure. Jason says, I've got 323 first and 323 seconds in 2 of my dynasty leagues. Is it better to flip multiple seconds for an additional first? I mean, yeah, if you can send 2 seconds for a first, of course. I mean, I feel like dynasty rookie drafts for me are all about finding the best talents. Wouldn't be opposed to that. Akshay, what's up? Says, rate the 12-man PPR squad. Is this redraft, Shay? Stafford, Saquon, Chubb, Justin Jefferson, CD, Ertz, Bateman, Amon-Ra, Matt Ryan, Treylon Burks, Metcalf, Chase Edmonds. I mean, if you're telling me that's a 1-quarterback league,
exactly, that's what I was about to say.
That's incredible.
If this is 1 quarterback, very, very interesting. 2 quarterback, I think the weakness would be your quarterback room. I love Saquon, Chubb, Justin Jefferson, CD, with Bateman and St. Brown and Burks and Metcalf. Hey, trade one of those wide receivers maybe for another running back depth, or a quarterback, whatever the case may be. I'm on the clock here. Look at me.
If that's a 1-quarterback league, that's really good. I mean, obviously you want a little bit more depth at the RB position as well. Like, you have incredible players there, just maybe one more running back. But yeah, I mean, that's a great squad, man. Really good squad. Chris says, mid-rounds, watch the film against Georgia this year. If you don't watch film, at least that one game in 2022. Rattler, Levis, AR. Personally, I like AR, even though I'm a Gamecocks fan. Love it. Russell
Wilson. Chicken Taka Masala for lunch.
Little bit of Wilson in my life.
Lunchtime. Come on. MP, man.
Running back problems. Dak says he's got running back problems. You went real late running back, didn't you? Let me have a look at your team right after I make my pick here.
Let's see.
I'll take Brevin. I'm happy to take Brevin.
He did go real late.
Yeah, running this is your first running back in round 11. Interesting. I mean, look, anytime you go 3 quarterbacks to start, you're going to struggle somewhere.
Yeah.
But you obviously have trade value with Tua or Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson felt a little high to me. Yeah, I'm not sure that he wouldn't be there at the 312.
Well, that is a 312.
No, that's a 212.
That's 212. Excuse me. I was looking at Tua. Yeah, I agree. And I think maybe he took Zach Wilson knowing that he wasn't going to get a quarterback because it was a 3rd-round reversal. But at the same time, no one really took a quarterback in that round outside of Justin Fields. Right. So That kind of sucked.
Dak said, "Oh, I am tanking for Bijan. This is a baby build." I love that. Love that.
Love that.
Akshay,
Shay,
how much
yeah,
can you trust Saquon and Amon-Ra? And yes, it's one quarterback.
yeah.
Amon-Ra, I have less confidence in than a lot of other people, but I still like him as a flex where you have him.
Yeah. I like
You have so much depth at wide receiver. And I like Saquon this year. I think he's a good pick. His ADP isn't too high either, which is good.
Yeah. So you're trying to trade for Monty. I really love Monty coming into this year. Any package ideas? One guy that I would say, especially if this is redraft, a guy that I'm avoiding, I said this already, is DK Metcalf. I think you can probably get really good value from him right now. People are still believing DK can produce, which I still believe he can in a dynasty perspective and a redraft perspective, but I think there will be a lot of inconsistencies coming your way
Yeah.
if you do have DK. And you have the depth at wide receiver. You have Bateman, Amon-Ra, you have Treylon as a wide receiver one. Why not try and trade DK? I'm happy to get Monty with running back depth if you want. Maybe you can get some more pieces with that as well.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't love trading for Monty this year, but I know we see that differently. You love him, and I think two of those players we see differently. I see DK. I know there will be struggles this year for sure, but I'm not a huge fan of attaching myself to that Bears offense right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Both offenses won't be very good. ATJ says Seattle kind of looks like the most likely landing spot for Stroud. That could be very interesting.
That would be very
Come
interesting. And
What
I think
a
that was
wide
the
receiver
one team-
room for him to step into.
Yeah, and that was the one team I think we both agreed on saying that
They could be really bad.
They could be really bad, and we can see them being the 101 this year.
Yeah.
Outside of like Atlanta, outside of the Texans, outside of the Lions, or ahead, excuse me, of all those teams.
Steven
Last round?
says,
Well, are we still going?
yeah, we can do last round. This is the last round. Actually, I sent Monty for Judy straight up a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I think Judy, most people are probably taking, I don't want to speak. Well, it's pretty much the same. Judy, DK are going to be around each other. Bryce to Detroit to pair him with Jameson. That would be awesome.
That would be fantastic.
Shay says,
well, I'm on the clock, Sheesh.
only reason I got Metcalf is because I traded straight up for Amari Cooper. I mean, that's incredible value. Well
It is
done.
incredible.
And then Steven has a question for you there.
Yeah, can I look? Once again, I'm believing in him as a talent. I don't believe in him this year because of the situation. That's all I have to say. Believe in the talent. I believe what he can do. I think the situation is really, really bad. I mean, and I've said this before. Drew Luck, the worst deep ball passer in the league. He was outside of the. He was like. People that stepped in for one game had a better deep ball percentage than him. Number two, he is projected to be the starter, and if he is the starter throughout the whole season,
He's not actually. That's not true. He's not projected to be the starter.
Is Gino projected to be the starter?
Right now, Gino has the upper hand.
Okay, so if that is the case, then we'll definitely see how he performs with Gino. Does Gino change that at all? I don't think so. I don't think it changed drastically. I don't think it changed.
Well, we at least know that there's some chemistry there, and there is some success in fantasy based off what we saw last year. But you're right, it wasn't consistent.
Yeah, just wasn't consistent. So we'll see what happens. It's very interesting.
You know what's like, and this isn't meant to disrespect Justin Fields at all, but Justin Fields was not very good last year, and we're all betting on Darnell Mooney. You know, different players, different upsides, different ADPs, but sometimes these bad offenses, volume will carry some of these players. And I think DK, like, volume will carry DK this year.
Yeah, we'll definitely see.
Jason, not gonna lie, if they end up with Stafford or Stroud or Bryce, trading Russ was a great move. That's true. Let's see what happens. Five Fingers Gino never has the upper hand. Come on, man. Let's see what happens. I haven't seen any report at all this entire offseason that says that Drew Lock has the starting gig.
Let's clarify right now. Let's see what we can. Did anyone?
Yes,
draft
that is
Drew
very
here?
true, Jeremy. I'm very pro Justin Fields. So again, that take wasn't meant to be an anti Justin Fields take.
So Drew Lock. Let's see what they have. Blah blah blah. Russell Wilson. When was this report? July 26th. It doesn't really say, but what does it say for Geno? I guess it doesn't really actually say who is ahead, but
Yeah.
at least on Fantasy Pros, I don't know if you can probably look on Twitter or something, but
No, the only things that I've heard is that right now Geno has the upper hand.
yeah, because
but
Geno
again,
Smith
it's very
started,
early.
Yeah, it says because Geno Smith started for Seattle last season, he's viewed as a favorite to earn the QB1 role ahead of the
Yeah,
2022
it's
NFL
early, but also can we all agree that Drew Lock is not a good quarterback either? So I don't I don't understand why, it's like Drew Lock's not good. So
Mhm.
he's not like stepping in, like he's never had success ever in the NFL in
Yeah.
any way. So I don't know that he should be considered the favorite. I agree with this ATJ. We're very pro Fields on this channel.
Worst position. Yeah, yeah, we're definitely pro Fields, so it's all love either way. Um, definitely waiting to see what happens. I'm excited. How many days until
Yes,
football?
sir.
Where's Daniel Lawrence? Daniel, how many days until the season starts?
He always
my
knows.
guy?
Jimmy G officially cleared after undergoing his physical with the 49ers this afternoon.
Hey.
He does not open training on the PUP list.
Why not Jimmy? I was saying why not Melvin? Why not Jimmy? Huh?
Why not?
Jokes.
Why not?
I drafted Trey Lance here, but why not Jimmy? And Jigba to Chicago, I love that as well. I definitely see that happening, and they have a first round this year as well. So I keep saying this to Zach. I always like, did Justin Fields play with Jackson Smith and Jigba? But I think they were on the same team. I think and Jigba was a
Yeah,
rookie,
he was never
he
really
wasn't
the guy.
he wasn't the guy yet. But I'm assuming they
They
practiced
would know each
together and
other.
stuff. Yeah, they did.
They would know each other.
They were hanging out in
yeah.
practice, throwing balls in practice, whatever the case may be. We'll see.
Yeah,
I like that.
Definitely.
All love. He was a freshman. ATJ said, yeah. So we definitely have to wait and see what happens. I'm excited to see. I think it is 50. The day that it starts, I think it's September 8th. How many days until September 8th?
I don't know.
43 days.
Oh, that you asking me.
Series says. No, 43 days series says. So we'll definitely see. I think
Facts ATJ was just going to say that. Thoughts on Team 9? I think you did pretty well here. Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson. I like that you were able to grab some late round quarterbacks there as well. JT, Kamara, Fournette, Connor. So it's a pretty old running back room outside of JT. We got love the T. Higgins pick, Devontae Adams. Not big Thomas guys here in Dynasty. We don't really love Michael Thomas long term.
No.
And also I feel like Boyd, there's just other players I'd rather take a shot on than Boyd. I think he is super limited going forward. And also I feel like the tight end position from round 6 to like 8 is kind of rough. But I think it's a good team. I like the wide receivers. I like the running backs, just a little bit older. I think Watson's going to be a great pick once he comes back.
Yeah,
I think it's a good team.
We just have to wait and see, my guy. Actually, should I trade Elijah Mitchell? Or you got any other recommendations for running backs? I love Elijah Mitchell over Monty as well. Let me just double check that before I say that. This is redraft as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
My redraft rankings. I'm pretty sure I want to say I have Monty still higher than Elijah Mitchell.
Do you?
Let me just double check.
I have Elijah Mitchell 3 spots higher than Monty.
Yeah, I have Monty 15 and I have Elijah Mitchell 17. So,
which these redraft rankings are subject to change a lot.
Yeah, they're still changing. So I'm happy with either Monty or Elijah Mitchell for you. And I would still say either DK. You can even do Traylon if somebody wants to buy it on Traylon, whatever the case may be with your team. Paco, your opinion on 2 players, Rojo in general. Where should I be targeting him in Dynasty startups? Same question for Jalen Tolbert.
Rojo is much more intriguing to me in redraft, and we're going to drop a video on the redraft page very soon this week about him. In Dynasty, only on a 1-year deal. He's not a bad running back, but he'll be 25 next year. And he's not like a Damian Harris 25 where he has like a bunch of proven production, been the guy. He was very successful in certain years, but
I think where he went here is pretty. It's good, you know.
Sure.
Round 13.
Yeah,
He's
around
going
13 feels we're
really
13,
comfortable.
14 around this area. Tolbert, I like a lot more.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, I think he went probably where he should have gone, round 12.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little bit more hesitant. I like Tolbert, but I'm a little bit more hesitant because I do believe Jerry World is going to make a big splash on the wide receiver now that Amari's gone next year. But I think this year, and maybe he can be a good wide receiver 3. But at the same time, now he has to compete with Michael Gallup, who signed a 5-year contract. So I won't be surprised if
Yeah, they could make a splash, but also they're going to be a good team. So I don't
Absolutely.
think they're going to be in a position to really draft one of those top wide receivers next year.
The top guys, no, but I think he'll still make a run to get another big body receiver.
Sure.
Just gotta wait and see what that looks like this year. But I definitely like Tolbert and Ronald Jones in that 1-year deal, like you said.
Adam says he'd be very pleased with the team from the 3 spot. What do you think, Docky?
Sparring, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, Kurt. Yep. I think I would have taken Cooper Kupp over AJ Brown, but obviously this is Dynasty. So a little younger piece. I like Pittman. I love the Walker pick, Ramondre Stevenson. I really like this team. I think the downfall here could be potentially the tight end room. Only reason is because I'm not a big Irv Smith believer. I don't see the longevity in Irv Smith and Albert Ayoke. There's already reports. Once again, take it with a grain of salt, but the hype. Greg Dolchich could freaking beat him out already. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that. No,
I read something, but maybe it was just a beat writer trying to get something out of it, whatever the case may be. But I think for me, it's just a downfall is
beat writers' intentions. We don't ever really know, do we?
No, they're just creating hype and trying to get likes and retweets. So
yeah,
definitely like the team. All love, Jason. No worries. Have a good one.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out today. Appreciate you. 2 likes away from 40. If you could help us out, there's probably at least 2 of you who haven't dropped a like yet on the stream. Would mean a lot to us if you could help us get there. We have more mock drafts coming out every single day on our redraft on our Dynasty channel. If you want to be a part of any mock drafts in the future, join our Discord. I will paste that link in the chat. It's also in the description. And great content coming out for you this week. Really great content. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. MP, I saw your comment, by the way. No, Marky Mark. Any team that has Marky Mark, MP is going to love.
Love that for MP. Marky
But
Mark is doing something special this year.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your nights. See you soon.